Okay. It's like sunset time here, so it goes from really, really sunny to really, really dark.
Okay. I'm just going to do a quick. I'm just going to really quick. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna. Yeah, we're just gonna forget its song. I don't even know where. Oh, there we go. All right.
You are the greatest love, my joy and hope. You are the greatest love I've ever known.
Yay! Welcome to the Fiat Ministry Show, show number 13. I actually have, it's been a crazy couple of minutes getting started, but I have a couple guests, a co-host for the first time, and Hannah, I'm going to just bring you up on, this is actually, that's not Gabrielle, that's Hannah, DeLaat. I needed to. I did have everything prepared. So welcome to the show tonight. I'm actually in Geneva. Hannah's over in on the west side of Cleveland and North Ridgeville, for exact. And then our guest is in Arizona, which is really cool. So she's a couple hours, especially with the daylight savings and everything. Time is definitely a crazy issue tonight. So I'm glad everything worked out. A little bit of a hiccup at the beginning, but I think we're set to go. Hannah, welcome. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
That's good. Yeah, it's we're gonna have actually my second cousin on my dad's side. It's kind of a funny. We've been chit-chatting on Skype for basically years off and on, and we I know she moved out to Cincinnati, and we I think uh, things didn't, I mean, families were just all over the place, so it was kind of interesting to find her on Skype. And there's other Kuholskis other than me and my parents, so it's pretty cool. So um, but welcome. Thank you, Hannah, for jumping on as a co-host for the first time, and we'll be continuing the Sacrament Series. So, uh, um, take a break. If you have questions for Gabrielle, please chime in. I have no problems not listening to my voice for a couple minutes. So I just want to thank you for also jumping in. So thanks, Hannah.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, I am going to do a little intro and I'll bring her on as we start the show. And Gabrielle, welcome. You were a native of Erie, PA, and then moved actually over to near my parts in Cincinnati.
Yep.
And also, you were at a college, Franklin College in Indiana, for Spanish and um,
Journalism.
journalism. Thank you. I'm not
That's okay.
journalism. And you went over to Mexico and Spain to study. And
Mhm.
let me. You got very, I mean, that was the inspiration of where you're at with your what you're doing right now, freelance journalism, and but you are now in Arizona, and you're about to get, are you close to getting married, or to your fiance Brian?
Yeah, it's complicated.
Yeah,
We did have a wedding planned in Cincinnati, and at the last minute, I'd say everything fell apart. So, you know, we've I've been down here just about a year now, and I've been I finally have some stable work, and I've been, trying to, I guess, really start looking and seeing where we want to plan the wedding down here.
yeah, Sierra Vista, Arizona, right?
Sierra Vista,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. I'm
Uh,
uh
yeah,
go ahead.
it's a tiny little town. It's a military town. It's basically, I would say that the base Fort Huachuca is really what makes up the town. And we're about 10 miles from the physical Arizona-Mexico border. And we're about an hour and a half south of Tucson.
Okay. Uh so you uh because I know you were on a couple times watching the show, and I appreciate it, and just letting us know. I know you have a big devotion to Our Lady of Guadalupe, and just being close to Mexico and that area, and
Mhm.
just going over to Spain, and being in Mexico, and just learning about the Spanish mass. It was also in your bio. I'm not a good intro. Actually, I apologize. I hopefully
That's
I
okay.
I'm but um I appreciate the time that you get to give us some information about yourself. Um, right off the what we do on every show, what was your Fiat moment? What helped you to get to the point that you're at in your faith life?
Well, I'd say I've had two over my lifetime. I had one when I was really young, and it took me a really long time to understand it. And I'd say that actually happened when I was about 7, 8 years old. Um, my mother's father, it started out, my mother's father was dying. He was in the hospital. He wasn't going to make it. And I guess that weekend, the um, the immediate family of my mother, her brothers, they all gathered around my father for, his last moments of living. Now, during that time, I was about 7, and then my brother was around, oh, he was a baby. He was about maybe toddler age. And my dad, let's see, my grandfather was at Hammett Hospital in Erie, PA. And for those of you that don't know Erie, Hammett Hospital is right down along the bay of Lake Erie. And they had a festival going on called I Love Erie Days. I don't know if you've ever been to that, but my father got us some food there. Now, my brother and my father had just some peanuts. I was really hungry for lunch, so I had a hot dog. And I would say a couple days later, my grandfather died, and I started to get really, really sick. It got to the point, I mean, I had never been so sick in my entire life. And what ended up happening was the night after my grandfather was buried, uh, my parents took me over to a doctor who was on call that night. They rushed me to the hospital, the same hospital my grandfather died in, and I almost died that night. They diagnosed me with having, I guess, some sort of bacteria in my blood. Um, I want to say they diagnosed me with E. coli or another type of food poisoning, and I was in the hospital for about a week. And the one thing my mother tells me, and I kind of vaguely remember this, but there was the same priest who gave my grandfather the last rites was walking down the hall, and he sees my mother in the hospital room, and he stops in, and He's asking what happened to me, and my mom's telling him the story. And then, my mom's asking, the priest, well, do you think that my father made it to heaven? And he took one look at me and he said, well, there's your answer. So that's something that's always just kind of stuck in my mind. I kind of wonder, if maybe my grandfather, helped me fight the illness, helped me get better. So, I didn't die from E. coli because it was very serious. I had bacteria in my blood that really could have gone into my heart and really killed me. So that is I'd say that's one of my Fiat stories.
Okay.
My other, it's a lot shorter. Um, it's really just kind of joining more into the Spanish Catholic ministry, the Spanish Catholic Church. Uh, I finally decided to become a parishioner of the one church in my area that did do the Spanish Catholic masses. And, I put down my name and information and everything, and I got a call to come in and talk to just the members of the Hispanic ministry, and they were, trying to see if I could do some volunteer work, and, they wanted to talk to me in Spanish and get to know me and just see if there was any way I could help them out, which later I did do some volunteer work translating for a couple families. But I remember coming out to my car, and it was like my sole car in the parking lot. I just kind of parked at the church. There was nobody else in the parking lot but my car. And I get into my car, and randomly on the passenger seat, there's a scapula.
Huh.
And I had never seen it before in my life. And I can tell you that my car at the time, very good alarm system. Alarm wasn't going off. The doors were still locked, and yet there was a scapula just randomly inside my car. And so I kind of took it as a sign that, this is where I'm supposed to be. These are the people I'm supposed to be with. Uh, this is the church for me. I'm supposed to be helping them in some way, and I'm meant to be here. And I still have a scapula to that day, even when that car ended up breaking down, and I ended up, I think, pedaling it to Goodwill for parts. I mean, I still have the scapula. I keep it in my car today, even as, I guess a sign of something. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, wow, that's a lot. I mean, but no, it's amazing because I know just being from Erie and uh, we, as I just heard your story, and we really didn't get to honestly get to know each other as youngsters, and
We met once. We did meet once, according to my parents.
really,
Yes, we did. Although you
when?
guys are a little bit older, we were a little bit younger, but you actually have met us.
Okay, because I honestly, I wish I remember, and I'm really bad. That's my dad's side. I just, he, but, um, I wonder where we met. I don't know, but I
It
just,
was it was at a reunion. I don't remember which relative of this was, but they owned a huge. I guess I wouldn't call it a ranch. I want to call everything a ranch because there's so many ranches down here, but I guess a huge farm, and they had horses, they had cattle, you name it. We watched. They paraded the horses around in the corrals, and it was a huge party, and it had to be one of our great aunts or uncles' kids that owned it.
okay.
And apparently, yeah, we met, your father was there, my father was there, we were there, and they talked. We were introduced. We were all introduced, but good Lord, it
That
was
was,
ages ago.
yeah, it was. I
I'm
really,
too young to remember. I vaguely remember going to that party because it was just so big, and I had never seen such a big farm in my entire life. And, of course, I'm a kid, so probably any farm seems massive, but
yeah.
I guess even for my parents, it was a massive farm too. So,
I wish I I'm gonna have to working for my father. I'm gonna ask him tomorrow at
Yeah.
but no, I think back to just what you're talking about with, you know, death in families and reliving, those certain situations that even on the side of then with you, uh, it's just it's actually amazing to think that those kind of moments in your life, and they're very powerful moments. Death is you couldn't even get any further than, you know, but then to be in the same hospital and just I could see, like you were talking about, the other thing that you want to talk about are guardian angels, and I can see how that can be intertwined with what, that sense of, you always feel like you're driving behind, in the car, and your guardian angels with you, and like you said, I think your or someone, that that sense of God saying, okay, I'm gonna keep you around. There's more for you, and thank the Lord, and it's a beautiful thing to see that you have, that even though it's a very horrible situation, there's some good out of it. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Hmm.
there's good out of all evil, and we just have to look for the goodness and in your life. I mean, we're talking, and I think it, it's amazing how God works. I mean, I would never have thought I would ever be talking to Gabrielle, and it's just like I don't know if the Skype might be acting up, but you're smiling in the picture, so you're looking good. So something, I don't know what happened with the Skype, but it's kind of just an image recording. But
Hmm.
um, what else? Uh, you know, is there anything else that in your life that just is that really the most powerful part of your fiat transformation, or was it now, you know, going to Mexico, Spain, and was that also a big thing that helped?
Well, I'd say it was inspiring.
Okay.
It really, I mean, I'd say my trips and seeing all of the old century cathedrals was just, very inspiring. I mean, you're just looking at these, ancient structures older than anything that have ever been built in this country, and you're just in awe. And, you look at just how intricate the stone and the architecture is, and these paintings, and uh, just the way the Gothic cathedrals were constructed. And, you wonder, how did they do this back in the Middle Ages, back in the Dark Ages, or even in, and I'd say probably in Mexico in, the early 15, 1600s to the 1700s. It's just, it just makes you feel, just so proud, I guess, to be a Catholic, and, see what these people have constructed, and what they've put their lives toward to build these big, beautiful things to, and then, hear their tales. I think that's one of the famous ones, from Mexico, La Virgen de Guadalupe, or in English, the Lady of Guadalupe. Just to hear, that story of how she came about, it's just very inspiring.
Hmm.
Do you know that story? Do you know much about the Lady of Guadalupe?
Yeah, I mean, just we have a shrine down, like I said, I think we were talking about it, and just how our Blessed Mother comes to, you know, express, I think the the story is that, having, uh,
Well, it's the
yeah,
fact that, it's the fact that she touched a very, she touched, a recently converted uh, Catholic.
yeah,
This was Juan Diego was indigenous and he fell in love with the religion. He was baptized. He became Catholic, and the fact that the Blessed Mother appeared to him.
hmm
She didn't appear to the bishops, the higher clergy.
right,
She chose him as his messenger.
yeah, and just the story of him, and then who was it his not grand was it his grandpa or a someone that was with him? I don't know if it was an uncle
I don't
or
I don't know if anybody was really with him. The
well,
story I hear,
yeah,
is that the Blessed Mother appeared to him, and you know she told him how you need to be my messenger. You need to tell these clergymen, these bishops, that they need to build a church
uh
on top of this specific hill. And what and you know he was asking her, well, I mean, how are these religious figures going to believe me, little Juan Diego?
yeah,
And so what she told him to do was to go up on this hill and pick the Castellano rose, which it's a rose pink in color. And he's thinking, well, they don't grow this time of year on that hill. It's still really cold out. Roses don't grow in this kind of cold. But he went up onto this hill, and there were tons of these roses. And he picked them, and he put as many as he could in his cape. And he took these roses to the clergymen, the religious figures, and told them how he saw this vision of Mary, and what she said to tell them. And of course, they're thinking, okay, this is strange, or why should we believe you? And he said, well, I have these roses from her. She told me to go up on the mountain and pick them, and here they were. And when the roses fell out of the cape, there was this vision of her in
her,
the
yep,
cape.
hmm
And that cape is actually still in one of the churches in Mexico City. I can't remember the name of the church. It's probably named Our Lady of Guadalupe, honestly.
Hannah, do you know? I don't.
Um, I know, but I forgot.
We're all forgetting it, but yeah, we
I,
didn't.
I
Go ahead.
yeah, I've never been to that. I've actually, I went to Guadalajara. I've never been to Mexico City, but her presence is very much alive in all of Mexico. So.
Yeah, it's amazing just to go down to the shrine and just see all the Mexicans just come to, just worship and just praise, uh,
Hmm.
because it's a 50-foot statue of Our Lady,
Wow.
and it's just amazing. So I know I need to get over to Arizona for spring training for the Indians someday, and you have to come over to uh, Geneva and come down to Windsor, Ohio to see Our Lady. Uh, and
Okay.
we'll make a trade. I'll have to go to Goodyear and you have to come here. Uh, but but yeah, the story. I mean, and that's the. I love all those kinds of. I mean, that's kind of like what we're trying to do is express what you went through in your life, and this kind of stuff. Uh, and you were saying yes to God. You just didn't know what uh, He was going to give you, or what He was going to, take you, what path He was going to take you at. But your the Spanish and being close to Mexico and being, you might have never been to the church, but I think you know Our Lady of Guadalupe is looking down on you, and I know just the scapular, uh, those are just, I know, very powerful. I have one, and it's very, a lot of people, the brown scapular, and you wear it. You wear it with honor, and sometimes you just feel like, you know, there's that presence of Our Lady, or whoever you have as a part of the scapular. Hannah, do you have any or?
Uh, yes, I was at a retreat this one day, and our priest actually handed all of the kids who were at the retreat, he handed each of them a scapular. So, I think that one broke, so I just bought like a new one. But every single day I wear my scapular, and it helps me so much to just stay close to Mary
Yeah.
and to have faith in her and to trust her and to just put myself in her hands.
Yeah, that's. I mean, Gabrielle. I mean, I'm going to take because I know you're gonna have to get going, and I appreciate your time. Um, what do you want to? I'll take the break after you go, and then
Okay.
we'll we'll do that. Um, Guardian Angels. I know you want to mention a little bit about Guardian Angels. What do you want to talk with the Fiat Moment? I mean, just what?
I think, I bring them up because I feel like my Fiat moments really tie into them a little, like especially my first story.
Mhm.
But I feel they're great because, I've had the opportunity to go to many different types of churches, outside the Catholic realm. And I just feel like they're so awesome. They're just so special to us. And, you know, I, I feel that they're so unique to us. And, we as Catholics, not, I would say that, we're one of the only religions out there that believes in them. And, it's one of the things I think I enjoy most about our religion, or, that feeling that, even after death, our those spirits still connect with us, or, you know, even in death, we still have the saints. We connect to the saints. They can be something real to us. Whereas I can tell you with some of I mean, I'm not putting down other religions, don't get me wrong, but,
Mhm.
I just feel like, I never want to lose that. I never want to lose that feeling. I never want to lose those feelings that those celestial bodies are there for us.
Mhm. Yeah, I, yeah, Hannah. I know you have a lot. I mean, you've done a lot of stuff with Guardian Angels. What do you have? Just as a closing to Gabrielle's story.
Um, yeah, the thought of just having always a guardian angel with us and protecting us. And it helps me, the more I think about us having guardian angels, I see how much we are loved by God because from our conception till when we die, we have a guardian angel protecting us and watching over us. It helps me think that we are that important to God and we are that special and loved by God that He would give us His own angel to watch over us constantly. And to me, our angels represent the love of God the most on this earth because, like Jesus, they leave their homes in heaven to come and serve us, really, and to protect us. And so many people say that, oh, I need a bodyguard and everything, but really, we already have a bodyguard and they don't even realize it. And they don't we think that in order for us to have a guardian angel, we need to see them, but really we don't need to, just like we don't need to see God to believe in Him.
Right. Yep.
And and I love how not only the angels protect our bodies and our lives, but they protect and watch over and guard our chastity and purity, and they help us and they bring us to heaven even more because of that.
Yeah.
And we can just turn to them for anything.
No, yeah, I, there's a lot of times just driving home and praying, you know, protect me, my guardian angel, because I drive an hour, and my luck with especially my parents hitting deer or hitting something in the road is kind of a high percentage for me because they're, they're but thank goodness their guardian angels are protecting them when they are going through some kind of turbulence of that nature. Um, but Gabrielle, I really appreciate your time. This was a definitely you were the guinea pig guest to do more than one Skype person. Uh, we did as best as we could with the Skype and how we're doing it, but I really appreciate all the way from Arizona. How's the weather for the?
Well, I think you'll find it's probably more pleasant than the Cleveland. Oh, excuse me, the Cleveland area. We did have a little bit of a cold front come through, but today I think it went up to a high of mid 60s, and it's supposed to be pretty beautiful all week. It's going to start out in the low 70s and climb up to the 80s by end of week.
Well, we just hit probably 60, mid 60s today. I was
Hmm.
actually in shorts and surprising, and we took our girls out. One last thing before you go. I also want to thank my wife always for letting me do this, and just that was just a side note. I always want to thank her. But it was actually a beautiful day, but we'll be down into the 30s by Friday, so we're going
Ooh.
the opposite direction that you are. But
Yeah,
anyways,
60s cold to us here. 60s, 50s, 40s, that's cold to us. That's
yeah,
that's 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 real winter to us.
yeah. Well, enjoy the weather and enjoy just yeah, just thank you again for coming on. I appreciate as you know how we were working this and just God bless you and I just appreciate you as my second cousin and just God bless and everything with the future holds. Keep in touch and I will
Mhm.
definitely do the same and I will let you go and have dinner and get stuff ready around the house. So have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
No problem. Thank you again. Have a great evening.
You too. And nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
And yeah, over the
And
phone. And is it Hannah?
Hannah, yes.
Hannah,
Yes,
Hannah. It's nice to meet you too.
All
you too.
right. Well, I will get say goodbye to Gabrielle and Hannah. We Skype kind of got through it. I don't know how much it went through, but hey, we're still on. The show is still going. Jay, welcome to the show. Uh, and I am going to try to see if I can jump over to myself, but it's not letting me. And I'm gonna. Nothing's gonna let me do anything right now. So we're kind of in a hold up. But I will talk about. Um, oh, will it let me do anything? Nope. But I will just let Hannah. You're moving. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to get something going. Uh, But everybody, thank you for staying kind of. Oh, here we go. I'm back. Uh, we I'm learning a lot tonight, Hannah. I'm learning a lot. Uh, so, really quick, Mystic Monk Coffee. That's another affiliate that we are trying to help get a little of a fun raiser to keep our the ministry going, and there should be a link on the web on the page that you're at, bottom left, and if you click on that link, it'll go directly. Oop, did I lose everybody? I just lost everything. Oop, test one, two, three. Hello.
1, 2, 3.
Yep, I something learning a lot tonight. Okay. But check out the link, and we will appreciate any kind of uh, help with our ministry. And so that's that. And I am totally stuck. Boy, not a good night. See if I can get you back on the show. I can't get anyone on the show. I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to pause this. Oh, hello?
Hi.
Yep, you're okay. Um, oh boy. All right. I'm gonna have to. Sorry, everybody. I have to re. Something totally crashed. I am totally stuck. All right. Stay with me, Hannah. Just I'm gonna have to. Oop, oop, oop. Are you still there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, everybody's back. We're back. We're back. Okay. Woo, that's scary. All right, I'm gonna transition. All right. Oh, the internet. It's fun sometimes, but boy, it can. Well, it's all right. We're just. All right. So I am going to bring over you back. Hey, there we are. All right, let's try one more time. All right, Hannah, are you still there?
I'm here.
All right. Okay, there we go. Thank you, internet. Something is not being very nice tonight, so I apologize, everybody. We're gonna keep going, and hopefully it will keep. Huh. still losing you. All right. Um. So, we are going to finish the Sacrament series, um, and hopefully, I don't know why you're still on. Hannah, can you hear me? You might just have to be
Yeah.
an okay. I'm gonna just have to have you as an image. I don't know what the Skype's doing, but audio is still working. Okay. Um, we are going to finish the Sacrament series, and what about let's talk about uh, orders because I know you're in a thinking, and I know your brother also is in the seminary, so uh, holy orders should be pretty just a very for your personal thoughts, very something that you're very interested in about.
Um, for me, holy orders is holy orders is really a sacrament where one is consecrated to God and promises not to marry or to enter in sexual relationships with anybody, but is consecrated to God for the sake of the kingdom. And when they do this, they are really renouncing their own will in order to do the will of God for the sake of the kingdom, but also for the salvation of souls. And um, for a priest, their lives truly resemble the life of Christ. And for a nun, their lives resemble the life of Mary. And the life of a priest and a nun resembles and mirrors how how we ourselves must live our lives in the presence and love and grace of God. And because of this, their lives point to heaven, and instead of just their lives point to heaven, and they help us understand and they help us to live, to have our lives only pointed towards heaven instead of what the world wants our lives to be and what our lives want to be pointed towards. Um, the for a consecrated person, for a priest or a nun, they consecrate their lives to God through three vows: the vows of chastity, purity, I mean, excuse me, chastity, poverty, and obedience.
Okay. Oh,
And when by consecrating their lives to God in this way, the first with the vow of perfect chastity, they don't just promise God that they're not going to enter into sexual relationships, but really the the them consecrating to God through a vow of chastity is really um, an act of great courage and an act of great purity, and it is a call from God to love in a higher degree. So, for a priest and a nun, their call is to have a higher degree of love because for a priest, their spouse is really the church who is loved, and for a nun, their spouse is in a spiritual way Christ, and He is love. So that is why they have a greater call to love for the sake of the kingdom and for the sake of souls.
well, as what you're discerning and all that, and especially with your brother, um, what are your personal thoughts and just of what you're trying to do in your discerning, just doing the research and I know you've done a couple talks on these sacraments. What personal thoughts do you have about, you know, taking that step, becoming a sister? What helps you say, oh, it might be, you know, not difficult, but it's a big task to take on and to understand that, you know, Mary's a very you can't ask for anyone, other than Jesus to be on this earth and to be the part of uh, that community and unity, to be part of um, with Mary. Are there things that you personally think about, as become if things happen to become a sister?
Yes. Well, the first time I was called, I, excuse me, first time I had the call to the religious life, I was really scared and I didn't really understand what God was calling me to do because I didn't really understand the life of a sister and everything that they did. But as I grew older and as I prayed about my vocation, the more I understood that what God was asking me to do was not only to seek my family and friends, but to truly live a life of purity, to live a life of chastity, but to live a life of sacrifice and a life of self denial. And I thought about my desire of someday having a family of my own. And that was really hard for me to handle and to deal with because ever since I was a child, I always wanted to someday get married and have kids of my own. But then when I heard the call to that God wanted me to be a nun, um, and the more I prayed about my vocation, the more I understood that Jesus wasn't calling me, that Jesus wasn't telling me to just give up everything. And he wasn't saying that what he was calling me to do was bad, but really that he was telling me that to become a nun is really to, instead of losing everything, you're actually gaining. Because even though you don't have a earthly spouse or physical children, you have spiritual children, and and your spouse would be Jesus Christ himself. And the more I understood this, the more I had a desire to become a nun and to say yes and to be who God wanted me to be. It says in the Bible, Jesus says in the Bible that everyone who has left houses, brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers, children, or land for my sake will receive 100-fold and inherit eternal life. And I think of that more and more, and I see that God is wanting me to truly live my heaven on earth. And through me being called to the religious life, by me becoming a sister someday, that I'm bringing others to Him as well. And what better way for me to 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 say yes to God, to bring people to heaven than for me to be a nun.
Yeah. I mean, I I talked to your brother, and just the past, the last time we were talking, um, the knowledge that you guys need to know, and I know for
Right.
him, is just amazing, just to have uh, that knowledge of just everything that you're doing and the history, and I mean, everything comes back to Jesus, and um, to push, yourself to be, you know saying that you're humbled to say, okay, you probably wanted a family, and you have beautiful nieces that uh, love you to death, and but you were humbled enough to say, and Jesus and God was taking you on a different path, saying, I think, being, in some kind of holy order, uh, s- you know, a sister or something in service and to Him was what you were, called to do. And I think that's really honorable that you understood that and would, you know, take up that. And I just I have more and more respect every day for you, and I know just by saying that it just shows what God can bring to you. And just on a side note, I welcome undefined 34558. Welcome to the show. We're doing a little bit of a couple things new tonight, so it's a little herky jerky show. But thanks for tuning in and staying with us. If you have any questions, please, uh, give them in the chat, or you can call and try the Skype. I think we're gonna have to do a couple more test runs through the Skype, but I would love to try it. Anything's fair game tonight. But I, I yeah, I know, Hannah. It's part of that thing of um, that you're very, you're going to call. I mean, a lot of these classes you're going through and to with discerning, and then hopefully the monastery that I know you were looking at. Um, do you have you don't have an end game? You're kind of letting God lead that path. Is that fair to say, or you have some ideas what you want to do, um, or is that not fair to,
Um,
or are you just kind of God's will?
yeah, basically God's will. Like I'm going to college now, but since I'm wanting to be a teacher, uh, I was actually talking to the order of sisters that I'm wanting to join. I was talking to them last year when I went on a discernment retreat with them, and they said that they wanted me to go to college. So I'm in college now, and I'm majoring, starting to major in early childhood education. And last year when I talked to the sister, she said that she wanted to see me again. That the next time they see me, then they want me to be in college. So I just thought that was God telling me, okay, you're getting closer to what I'm calling you to do and to have faith. And and really, college is just a culture shock for me, really,
Yeah,
because I have been homeschooled for so long, and then I'm just starting to go back to regular school. But yeah, I'm basically on God's will right now.
yeah, that's great. I mean, that's right where you're supposed to be. And I want to welcome Joe Miller. Uh, he was actually the undefined person, so welcome Joe to the show. And Hannah, I know, it is definitely. I can't imagine going back and with college and what I know how passionate you are with your faith and how just humble you are. How you show yourself to others, and definitely shines through. And I just appreciate um, this. Just to give a little bit of your personal thoughts and because I know hopefully your brother will when he has some free time to come on and talk about his faith and fiat uh, moments and where he is in his path and I think that's a really honorable thing that you're doing right now and it, it shows we're really proud of you and especially over in Geneva so just keep up the good work in college. It's definitely not, but God's will and God's taking care of you and your guardian angels. I heard, and then we'll get on to matrimony, and I have a little bit of knowledge on that, but we'll go for a little break and then matrimony, and then we'll call it a night. And I think um, it's kind of an understanding of and welcome name to the show. I don't know name, but thank you for coming and coming into the chat. But it's you know I I can't imagine you know what the oh back to the story. I was driving home and talking about guardian angels tonight. It it's one of those things that they're there on the little things. You're praying, like I know for a fact you're probably praying for, a good grade before. Please pray for me for a good, and your guardian angel in a sense, and the knowledge that God gives you, and you're gonna do great. It's not you're
Right,
not gonna be, you know you're not going to fail through God's eyes, is what I guess is what I'm trying to say. But it's kind of the way of we all pray. I mean, we're praying um, and hoping to do well in everything that we do. We don't want to disappoint people. I'm hoping I'm not disappointing you tonight. We're a little having some Skype issues, but you're still looking your good smile image, and we'll just we still got the audio. So that's always the good point is the audio is still working, and hopefully people are watching. And but I'm gonna try one more time to take a small break. If this does not work, I will give up tonight and we'll talk about matrimony and call it a night. But I am going to go to, let me see. Maybe I don't, I thought I have it. Nope, I don't have it there. But I will be talking about, okay, hold on. There we go. Let's try this. Lighthouse Catholic Media. And we have a little icon at the bottom if you would like to help out. I will come back over to the only live video for some reason tonight, and I have no clue why. But I will come back to my, hopefully, maybe not. But Lighthouse Catholic Media, we are affiliate with them. Uh, it's a win-win situation there, and I think anytime that you can have um, Catholic, solid Catholic teaching, it's a plus. And hopefully everybody can hear me still. If not, boy, I'm not having a good night. But it, Hannah, can you still hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm not. Um, but Catholic. Uh, Lighthouse Catholic Media. Go there, help out a friend, and I was hoping to get back to myself, but the, we're not having a good day or a good evening with the software, but it's still working. We're still talking, and um, it should. All right. Okay, we're back. Whew. Okay, Hannah. We're both back. Hey, I can see you too now. I had to do a little restart. It's the life of a computer learning about some great software that can do some good for our faith, to talk about our faith. always has glitches through the devil, and the devil is working really well tonight. But I'm gonna jump over to myself for really quick. Hannah, I gave her this copy of Lighthouse Catholic Media. I'm gonna, oop, let's see how this works. Ooh, wow. I'm not, okay. Let's see if this, and my lighting is not that great either. But yours doesn't work, Hannah. I gave it to you and it doesn't work. I got the good one. I don't know if you tried it, but they had to resend this copy, uh, and I will definitely get it to you. And but so this is the new Lighthouse Catholic Media CD, and definitely check it out. Help the ministry and also help Lighthouse Catholic Media. And so, Jay and Joe, thank you for sticking in. We'll do one more sacrament, and I just lost Hannah again. Oh well. Oh, there you are again. We'll try. Okay. So last show, it's show number 13 too. I didn't have, but anyway, we're winging it the rest of the way, but it's fun. We're having a good time. So matrimony is the. Oh, I am getting a phone call. Hold on, Hannah. Let's see if this will work. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Sean. How are you?
Hi, Kent. Sean Douglas.
We are in a
Great, how are you?
live show right now. Let's see if we can get you both on. I'm gonna try to get you back, Hannah. Hello? Maybe we're not gonna be able to get both of you on. That's a bummer. Uh, Hannah, can you hear me? Mm-mm. Okay. Now I'm losing everybody. Oh, there you are. And Hannah, are you still there? Oh. Well, I will try to get Hannah back on, but Sean, welcome to the show. Do you have, or were you, you have a question or anything going on tonight that you want to talk about? Oh, I lost. Okay. Hello? Anyone?
Hello.
Hello, Sean.
Hi, Kent.
Hey, did you have a
Yes.
question or just see if I can, boy.
I was just trying to tune in to watch the show tonight. Is this how I do it?
You could call in. Yeah, that's also a good way of. Usually, this is the new trying to get working. But did you can't get to the live stream? Usually, the live stream should be up and running. It should be running right
I
now.
was trying on
Oh, go ahead.
All right.
Say that again.
I will. I'm looking on Facebook now, trying to
Oh, you
get
got to go to fiat.org, and then there's a live.
the live stream now.
Yeah, watch live. Uh, and yeah,
All right. It's fiatministry.org, right?
yeah, fiatministry.org, and that's the actual live stream that we're running right
Okay.
now.
I
Oop.
I can do that through my Facebook app.
Oop. Okay. Um, we're gonna, yeah. Hannah, can you hear me? I'm trying to get back to the other person I had on. Oop. Hello? 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 Stretched. Okay, I don't know what. Uh, something. I was hoping that this Skype would work. Okay, we're gonna try to get back to. Oh, Hannah, are you there? I gotta call her back. we, we're. Oops. Okay. I apologize, everybody. This is. Yeah. Usually it works great. Joe, I'm trying something new, and I should try it on a test run instead of a. Um, usually it works great. I'm not sure why we're having an issue tonight, Joe. Uh, we will, but it's no fun if we don't do it. At least have some fun with. Or we will call it a night. Well, maybe we'll call it a night. And matrimony, I mean, just having the love of your life and to go through that day of going through mass and uh, Hannah, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. We're going with this for the rest of the night, and then we'll just call it because something really messed up, and I have no clue what happened. But usually we don't have this problem, but we're trying to get more than one person on. But matrimony, for me, my wedding night was just amazing, and or day, I guess is the best. That was bad. The wedding day was great. Um, and just going through, you know, understanding and then going through. Oh, there you are. All right. We'll see if we can bring you down. And oh, we lost you. All right. Uh, Hannah, are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay. This is fun. All right. So I'm just gonna go and we'll end this um, quickly. Matrimony. Quick, some stuff that you would like to say uh, about matrimony and just your thoughts.
One reason why I like I love the vow, the sacraments of matrimony is because it is the love between a husband and a wife is really the love that Christ has for his church, which is free, total, faithful, and fruitful. And it is a call to selflessness and self sacrifice, which brings me back uh, to holy orders and the call to the religious life. It's just like a husband and a wife are to give themselves to each other without reserve and and completely. So is a priest and a nun supposed to give themselves to God completely and without reserve and without holding anything back. Um, yeah, and it is a call to to love one another in the way Christ loves, and to always see Christ in your neighbor. And it really is a call to virtue.
Yeah. I yeah, that's just knowing what I went through and knowing with your sister just the love that going through um, just the like the little the everything else but you know people say enjoy your wedding day. There was so much planning and we take the whole planning and all that stage kind of more important than the actual what's the most important is being united with each other through Jesus Christ and that sacrament
Mm-hmm.
of matrimony and knowing that we are uh, having that union together. And I think a lot of times we get caught up with the other side of um, the planning stages and everything else and the money and all that for but the most important part is that bonding together, the the union between a man and a woman, and don't let it's that's what we need to remember and what we need to take as the most important part of that day. And uh, I think it's a beautiful thing. I was nervous, I was scared, I was everything under the sun that day. Uh, and we just it was beautiful and it's a great part of what God gives us because everything he said like every sacrament is some kind of bonding with us. I mean we're holding hands, there's a hands holding, there's we're praying together. They're, just going through all the different, you know, receiving the Eucharist together, you know, all of those parts, and having my wife go up to the Blessed Mother and pray in front of her and ask for guidance and loving support of our family, our future family, and what we need to do in that sense of the word is so important in the big scheme of things than just the planning stage and everything else. So I think it, it is a beautiful sacrament, and I was honored to be part of, and I know you were part of our wedding, and it was just a beautiful day to celebrate. And I was honored to have everybody there. It was just a beautiful thing that everybody would show up. And but is there anything else finally about just overall the sacraments? What you can, just really quick sum up, we're a little late tonight, but a quick summary of the sacraments and just what you thought about, you know, because you did an excellent job, Hannah, and thank you again for
Thank you.
doing that.
Well, to sum up the sacraments are really for us to receive grace, for us to know and understand how to love God better and to serve others and to not only bring ourselves to heaven, but to bring everybody to heaven with us. And it helps us, and the sacraments help me to have an open heart and to always be open to whatever God's will is for me.
Oh, uh-oh. Oh, Hannah.
Me,
Oh,
help me understand too.
is it possible to go back a couple? Oh, Hannah, you were right at the good. Is it possible to go like two sentences back, do like a cliff notes? We did not get that. I didn't. I don't know if I'm guessing no one else did. I'm sorry.
That's okay. As the sacraments help me to understand that God's will is His love, because they help me to open up my heart and for my heart to be open to God's will and whatever God asks of me and whatever God's will is for me in that present moment and in every second, because of how much God's will is His love, and it helps me to not only bring myself to heaven but to bring others to heaven with me, and to be able to have the will to always say yes to God, to have the will to have self-denial, to choose God over sin, and to do the best I can to make Him known. Because if I only make myself known to others, then that that doesn't go really far. Because I'm supposed to bring Christ to others and not just give myself to others. Because if I give myself to others, then that's not really giving. If I only give myself but not Christ, and if I only keep my eyes on myself and not Christ, then that's really being selfish. So the sacraments help me to not think of myself and to not give myself to Christ in pride, really, but in humility, and to just make Him known to everybody in every present moment.
Yeah. That's great. Thanks for doing it over. I couldn't say it better. I think this, just knowing how we went through, it was a all the sacraments just give you so much grace and so much power through God, and I think um, it it was definitely the last couple sacraments were interesting to do as not uh, but just with Satan getting involved with tonight, uh, and but you're right, and I think we're going to call it a night. And Hannah, I hopefully you have a. We'll try to get you. Nope, we're not gonna be able to. Something. Technology and Satan is sometimes working against us. But again, I just want to thank everybody for watching. Sorry for all the technical issues. Uh, I Jay for coming in, Joe Miller for coming on, Sean for showing up in the Skype, uh, everybody that showed up tonight. It was a little, we're doing some different ways of having people call in, and Uh, we have some hiccups, but we can fix those. There's always ways to fix. But I appreciate Hannah. Thanks again for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And for everybody else, check out. We'll have this up and archived. And please try, the Lenten season to, serve and give back and pick up your cross in these times, and definitely go to confession. Definitely, that's one thing that I was just talking to, listening to my pastor, and a big thing is going to confession. So at that point, thank you again for all the understanding, for everybody for watching, and I just really appreciate and very humbled that everybody showed up tonight. So thanks, and we will see you all next week on the Fiat Ministry Show. Have a great evening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.